For we are to God the fragrance of Christ. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 15.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I have fragrance reviews, I have fragrance tips, I also have fragrance hauls. So if that is something you like and you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and ta-da! You are part of the family. As the title suggests, today I'm doing my review on some fragrance that I bought as blind buy. So I did a haul like 2 videos ago on this channel, but 60% of the fragrances were blind buys. What is a blind buy? No, you're asking, right? So a blind buy is when fragrance addicts or enthusiasts like me just go onto websites. We don't go in shop. We just buy fragrances online mostly without smelling them. But the least we do is kind of go onto Fragrantica or other websites that have notes of fragrances, and then we kind of check what the notes are and see if they're kind of notes that we like. So that's what a blind buy is. Let's get straight into the video. So I have 13 fragrances for you, but there are 2 that when I opened them, I was sure that they were blind buys, but when I opened them, I kind of have a feeling like these fragrances I have experienced before. I don't know where, but I knew that I had had experience with these fragrances before. So because of that, I just said that, you know, for the sake of honesty and openness, let me just call them honorable mentions, because I'm not sure. It feels like I've used them before. And before I started collecting fragrances, I kind of had used different fragrances. Some I can't even remember that I had or had not used. And so because of that, sometimes when I smell the fragrance, I kind of have a deja vu experience with it. So because of that, I was like, you know what, I probably have had experience with these fragrances and I wasn't even aware of. So I'm rambling already like I usually do. So the first one I have is this right here, and it's Fantasy by Britney Spears. So this one was requested by a subscriber that wanted me to review it. So I bought it. So in the notes here, so I also forgot to mention that I usually have this, which is my notebook. So if I look down, I'm reading the notes for you. So in this Fantasy, we have lychee, we have golden quince and kiwi in the top note. In the heart notes, we have jasmine and white chocolate. And then in the base note, there's orris root and musk woods. So let's look at it. So it's very sweet, it's very girly, it's a very nice smell. It's one that I like. It's sweet, it's girly, and it's, you smell the fruit, like the lychee and the quince and then the white chocolate. So there was something that I couldn't make in it, but I suspect is the white chocolate. I don't even know what orange root smells like, so I wouldn't even lie. But it's a very nice, if you ask me, it's a fruity, girly fragrance. It's slightly, it feels as though it's one for a certain age. I will pull it off because for me, I don't care whether a fragrance is for an age group or not. So I will pull it off. But if you're one that feels like, oh, there's some fragrance for young girls and there's some fragrances for older women, this is a bit too sweet. I know that another reviewer has said that, I think is Mila LeBlanc, that said that the blue one, which is Midnight Fantasy, is better than this. It's on my wish list. I'll get it so that I can do a side-by-side comparison. But overall, this is a good fragrance. I'm going to give it like, let's say 6 over 10. It's not bad. It's above average. The lasting power too is very good. I had a good 4 hour on it before it became a skin scent. It doesn't project much. It has a medium projection and a medium sillage, but it's a nice fragrance, and I liked it. Even though I have to be honest that my girl, the first day that I used, so I have 3 daughters, and they were like, oh, this sounds really like something we should have. So I think that it's a bit pleasing for younger girls for this one. So that's the first honorable mention. The second one that I have is this one right here. It's Elizabeth Arden green tea. So when I spritzed this one, I kind of felt as though I had seen it before or I'd smelled it before. Like the first whiff I had of it, it felt like I had smelled it somewhere before. Even not just smelled, ordinary smelling, it felt like I had used it before. So that was why it came into the honorable mention part. So in this, it has rhubarb, it has orange peel, bergamot and lemon on the top. In the heart, it has musk, jasmine, oak moss, white amber, and flannel in the heart notes. And then in the base notes, it has caraway, amber, musk, green tea. It has jasmine, more oak moss, and then it has celery seeds. So for me, this is a very fresh, like a very fresh green tea, very energetic. So the top notes of the bergamot and the lemon makes it very energetic, and then the flannel seeds and also the celery seeds make it a bit herbal, very green. So this is a very nice fragrance. I like the musk in it, kind of gives, it feels as though there's vanilla in this, but there's no vanilla. So this is like one of those fragrances that has so many things in it, but it comes together to be so beautiful. I really enjoyed it, and it lasts long. For an eau de toilette, it gave me like 4 hours use of it before it soon became a skin scent. So I truly enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed it immensely. So this is that for the honorable mentions. So without so I'm going to go, I have another green tea for you, which is the Elizabeth Arden green tea bamboo. This is it. I broke my cover whilst I was getting ready for this video, so this is it. And it's similar to the green tea, but this one has notes of, at the top of bamboo, tamarind tree leaf, and then galbanum. I don't know what galbanum is. Galbanum and galbanum. I don't know what galbanum is. And then it has heart notes of green tea, cucumber, violet leaves, and then strange scent trick. And then in the base, it has gentle musk, it has woods, and then it has orange roots again and mate. So that's what it has for the notes. Let's spritz it. So this is very green. This is herbal. This kind of reminds me of you know, like when you're taking a walk in like a forest that is a bit dumb, you know, if you've walked in a forest, like this, as soon as I smells it, it takes me back to, there was a time where I took a walk through like a reserve in Ghana some time ago, and it takes me back to that time. So I smell some very musty, you know, like soil with seedlings shooting up, very green, very earthy. I think the bamboo too, in the dry down, you smell the bamboo. So if you've ever had, it reminds me, like as it's drying down, it reminds me when I was in secondary school, there was something that we did where we had to go and cut fresh bamboo to do something. It was like the juniors night when you first get into secondary school, like the first night in secondary school. So it reminds me so much of the bamboo. So the bamboo is very prominent here. So if you want the light green earthy fragrances, this is one for you. Elizabeth Arden green tea bamboo. And something about this fragrance that it lasts so long, like it lasts super long. So if you want the light green fragrances and light and fresh fragrances, this is one for you. The next one is this one right here, and this is Elizabeth Arden honeysuckle. So it's the green tea honeysuckle. And then for notes, it has bergamot, lemon, green tea, has tangerine, and then it has bison berries. And then in the heart notes, it has honeysuckle, jasmine, sambac, green tea, and then it has ylang ylang, and then it has neroli. And in the base notes, it has peach, musk, birch, amberette, and some more musk. So let's smell it. Oh, this is a beautiful fragrance. This was one that I really used. I used it, well, I thought I did, but not much, because I used it a lot because I used it twice, 2 days in a row. And I don't use fragrances 2 days in a row. Like, I have enough to use one on each day, but I used this 2 days in a row because it was very floral, but very soft floral. It felt like the floral was steeped in green tea. But the green tea here is very mellow compared to the two that I showed you. This has a mellow green tea, more on the floral, but these are very soft floral, almost not powdery. So it's like a citrus floral that it's very beautiful, slightly sweet, but not sweet enough to be considered a gourmand. So, and it performs well. This was the longest lasting of the three. This one gave me like 6 hours. And even when it became, it worked so beautiful with my skin to the point where it smelled so expensive. Like it smelled so expensive. At a certain point, I was even doubting if it was the same fragrance. When I smelled it again, I was like, are you sure this is the same fragrance? It smelled that good. Like this was a hit. Like it was a banger. I really enjoyed this particular one. And then the next that I have is a Monserrat. This one right here. And it's Monserrat Oud Vanille. So if you know me, I love Monserrat. I don't know if it's because of Pure Montel or some because of my experience with French education, but I like Monserrat. I love this bottle. It has a gradient of going from like gold to dark light brown into like a very dark brown. It has the Monserrat seal at the top. I hope you can see it. And then yeah, it opens like how any Monserrat opens, and has the great Monserrat atomizer. I'm always excited about Monserrat like that. Okay, so in the top note, it has agar wood, which is oud. It has saffron, it has black pepper, and then it has cardamom. And then in the mid note, it has floral notes. And then in the base note, it has Madagascan vanilla, gaiac wood, and then sandalwood. So if you ask me, I like this. So this is just, it starts with the agar wood, which is very mild, very soft. And then I smell the cardamom. The cardamom is very nice there. I don't get the floral notes at all. I used it. I still did not get the floral notes. For me, it smells like vanilla in burning wood. So like when you have burnt wood in like a camp and then you put vanilla in it, that's what it smelled like. Like a campfire with vanilla in it. It's so beautiful, and it has slight, the one thing that I noticed is in the opening, maybe it's the black pepper and the cardamom, it has a bit of a medicinal smell to it, but it goes away when the vanilla starts showing up. It's a beautiful, soft, balsamic vanilla that is very well rounded, like so well rounded that I truly like. This was one that I enjoyed, especially with myself complaining that I don't want to use anything heavy. This was one that I didn't mind just putting one spritz of it and just indulging in it the whole day. It has, and there's a way how this vanilla kind of smells slightly chocolatey on my skin. So even though there was no chocolate there, after a while it gets a bit chocolatey on my skin, and that's what I got on this. This one, Monserrat's Oud Vanille, I love it. I love it. The next one that I have is this beautiful one here. It's called Kenzo Jungle L'Elephant. So it's called Kenzo Jungle and then L'Elephant, as you can see, the elephant there. This one too, I have gone in a bit. It's very beautiful, and it was like up my alley. It's different, so I truly enjoyed, though I didn't use a lot because this was one that could easily get polarizing, so I didn't use so much. So for Kenzo Jungle L'Elephant, you have mandarin, fresh cardamom, cumin, and clove. In the heart notes, you have ylang ylang, licorice, mango, and heliotrope. And then in the base, you have patchouli. You have vanilla, amber, and cashmere. So it's very spicy. Like it opens up, when it opens up, and it feels as though you're walking in you're somewhere in Tunisia or Algiers, and you're walking in a North African spice market. So you're smelling cardamom, you're smelling cloves, you're smelling cumin, and it's so beautiful. Like it's so beautifully done that I don't know how to explain. And the funny thing is, because of the vanilla and the amber in it, in the dry down, it begins to smell like some sweet dessert that has cinnamon in it. So it's like some cinnamon roll or something. So it's just unpredictable. In the beginning, it's almost savory. Then when it's drying down, it begins to smell like a dessert, like some high-end dessert. It's so beautiful. Like I can't explain it. So it has a savory beginning, then it goes down to dry into some very beautiful, you know, sweetness with the amber, with the vanilla, just bringing it together. I don't get the patchouli so much, I have to be honest. I don't get the patchouli at all. It's so beautiful, and I think that the cashmere too has a way of just making it just unpredictable. This is a good fragrance, but it's not for the faint heart. So if you're one that even for me, the first time I smelled it, I was like, huh? What's going on here? It just did, but as I had to use it 2 or 3 times to kind of come and appreciate it. So this one is the one that grows on you. I feel like it's an acquired smell. You kind of acquire it over time, and then you begin to appreciate it. So it's not one that you can just jump over there and say, okay, I'm getting this one, hell or high water. No. So this one is a very good one, and I enjoy it. The next one is Lalique Amethyst. This is it right here. Lalique. I like the bottle. It's a very beautiful bottle. I like it. And that's Lalique Amethyst. So I'm going to spray it. For notes, it has nutmeg, blackberry, and currant at the top. And then in the heart, it has pepper, peony, lily, and sweet floral ylang ylang. And then in the base note, it has bourbon, vanilla, and sensual musk. So this one, I'm trying to like it. I have to be honest. I have used it a bit just to, you know, try to like it. But it just, I like it for the first 2 hours of it. But when it dries down, there's something in the dry down that doesn't work well with my skin. The opening and the middle is fantastic, but the dry down it doesn't work well with my skin. I don't enjoy the dry down. So I'm finding it really super difficult to, I'm going to give it a try again and kind of know if it's one that I'm going to keep or not keep kind of thing. But I'm at the place where I'm not very sure about this one. This one for me is kind of like a miss. It's not a hit for me. And that's Lalique Amethyst. The next one that I have is Humanity. That's it right here. So this is it. So the next one I have is Humanity, and this is by Mugler. This one is and it's just like the Kenzo. When I read the notes, fig and caviar, that's all that's there. So it says that the caviar is a savory part of it, and then fig is a sweet part. So we're trying to put sweet and savory together. And what I smell here is, you know, I get the fig a bit, but the caviar is very prominent. And you know, it's weird because the caviar has saltiness. It feels like a salty beach, yet is earthy, you know. And then you have the fig that brings in an ever so slight sweetness to it. So this is not very sweet, but when it dries, it smells like the sea. Slightly, there's the earthiness. The fig kind of cuts off the fishiness of caviar. If you had caviar before, you know, because caviar is from the eggs of specific fishes that give that kind of egg to be caviar, you know, it's a bit, you know, the slight fishiness, but it's not there. It's just earthy. Instead of being fishy, it's earthy. So that fig and caviar combination is weird, but it's good. It works well on the skin. It's a beautiful, sweet, salty, earthy fragrance. It's not very sweet, not like sugar gourmandish sweet, but just the sweet that you know that it's like it's sweet enough to be there, but it's not super sweet. Like, it is a fantastic. I enjoy it. It's unique. It's in the same place as the Kenzo L'Elephant, the Kenzo Jungle L'Elephant, because it's similar in, you know, uniqueness of the notes and how they work together. The next one that I have is one of these, which is Elizabeth Arden's Whitey Wild Rose. I already have the Whitey, but I decided to get the flankers of it. So this is the Whitey Wild Rose. And in the Wild Rose, it opens with pear tree blossoms, red currants, and then Pomarosa. In the heart notes, there's Bulgarian and Turkish rose, there's blush peonies, and there's clary sage. There's clary sage. And then in the base, there's musk, there's mate absolute, and there's share amber notes. So this for me is like, for me, when I smelt it, it took me, it's more it's like the green tea, the regular green tea, but just the citrus notes have been lowered, and then they amped up the roses in it. So this one has Bulgarian rose, it has Turkish rose, and so it's like the green tea on a rose steroids, if that makes sense. So it has more rose in it, and the rose is very well done. So it's like it's together and it's beautiful. I truly enjoy, like, it comes together in a very beautiful way that I enjoy very much. I enjoy it so much. And so that's that one. This one is very much close to the green tea, and it's like I said, it's the green tea. Sorry, it's very much close to the white tea, but it's just like the original Elizabeth Arden white tea that is on rose steroids. So it's working very hard on the rose, and it smells very nice. It doesn't stray too far away from the white tea, because the original white tea has white tea, rose, and mate in the mid note. So in this mid notes, they just amped up more of the roses, put in Bulgarian rose, put in some Turkish rose, put in peonies also there, so that there was a bit more on the floral. So this is beautiful, and I like it. The next one is another white tea, which is the Vanilla Orchid. That is it. Elizabeth Arden white tea, Vanilla Orchid. So in the notes, this one has LM oil and quince in the top notes. In the middle notes, it has white tea, floral notes, gardenia, jasmine, and vanilla orchids. And then in the base notes, there's amberette, there's orris, there's vanilla essence again, and then there's amberwood and musk. So for me, this one didn't smell like a flanker of white tea. It was a bit too far off the white tea for me. This one wasn't a flanker of white tea at all. It felt like it was a new fragrance entirely on its own. That's how I felt about this one. It didn't feel for me like a flanker of white tea. It just felt like a whole new fragrance on its own. So I have another Elizabeth Arden here, and that's the Sunflower Morning Garden. So this one too is a beautiful, this one goes with the vibe that I have been going with lately, which is like the very light floral or citrus floral, clean fresh scent. So this one in the top note, it has bergamot, grapefruit, neroli, pink pepper, and blackcurrant. And then the middle note, there's rose oil, peony, sunflower, and honeysuckle. And then in the base note, there's cedar, there's vetiver, and there is musk. I don't know. So I don't know if I've said this before. I'm a lover of vetiver. So this fragrance is beautiful. It's floral and fresh, and it's very rounded. It's so floral, fresh, and green. I really have gone into this fragrance. If you can see, I've gone into it a lot because I think it started at the shoulder here, but I have really gone into it because this one I used 3 days in a row. I couldn't help myself. It was so good. And the days that I sprayed it to work, stay at home and work, those were the days that I was recording wind. So I was like, whoa, there must be something about this fragrance and me. So I was just going in and in on it. But I like it. It's really nice. It's a beautiful floral, and it's light with citrus. You know, the citrus opens. The citrus is very, very, it's not overly citrusy. So, you know, there's some citruses, like I say, sometimes it can go into cleaning products kind of citrusy. But this one is just a beautiful citrus that I enjoy. And because it's steeped in florals and it's rounded with a musk, it's so beautiful. The vetiver here is clean. It's a very clean vetiver. It's not smoky, it's just clean green vetiver, and it's very light. So it's not very heavy-handed on the vetiver. So it's very nice. And even the cedar, you can really get it in the dry down, and even the musk, to at least on my skin, I don't get the cedar, I don't get the musk on it. So it's very beautiful. I truly enjoyed it. Like I did. It was good. It was a good buy if you ask me. The next one that I have here is this right here. It's called Grey Flannel. I hope you can see. It's by Geoffrey Bean. This one is a pour-homme. It's for men. And I just needed to try it. I've been looking for something that is big on vetiver. So when I read on it about the reviews on Fragrantica, they talked about the vetiver, how it was old school fragrance and all that. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. I like it. It's really green and beautiful. So in the notes here, we have galbanum, we have neroli, pete grain, we have bergamot, and we also have lemon. In the heart notes, we have mimosa, iris, violet, sage, rose, granulum. We have that in the heart notes. In the base, there's tonka bean, there's almond, there's oak moss, there's vetiver, and there's cedar. This is like fresh green, smoky green, fresh fragrance. Does it make sense? It's citrus green smoky. So it has that. The oak moss gives it a slightly almost like animalic, but not very animalic. The vetiver is much stronger. The vetiver here is green, slightly dry and smoky. That's what I get from you, and it's just a beautiful combination. This is the first day I used it. I went into the supermarket to get something, and then a gentleman asked me that you smell very nice. What did you use? And he said you smell unique. What do you use? And so it's very nice. It's light and it's unique. And the funny thing about it is that this thing is not expensive. I think it is $12 on Fragrantica. Check it out. $12 Fragrantica. 12,000 from Essenza, Nigeria. So please check it out. It is not expensive, and it smells. You smell rich. Like it's not nouveau riche. Like you just getting rich, new money. No, it smells like old money, legacy, monarchy. That's how this smells like. Like it smells like I don't know, like old money. It doesn't smell like new money. It smells rich and it smells like old money. Because this fragrance was made in 1975. So what do you expect? It smells like you've been there before. You've had all together. This is a good fragrance. I like it. It smells good. I really like it. The last but not the least is this one right here, and that is Rugba. Rugba is by a UAE house called Latafa. I have a couple of fragrances that a friend sent over to me from Latafa to try out. So I even have a story. So my lights were acting up. I had already ordered a bunch of Latafa stuff from an Instagram vendor, and then my lights went crazy. So I needed to replace my lights. And then just on the weekend when I told the vendor that, look, this is what had happened and I have to replace my lights, so I'm not buying fragrance. A friend called and was like, oh, that she got these fragrances from a client and from UAE, that would I want them? I'm like, okay. And then so she sent them over today, and there were two Latafa fragrances. I googled, and the third one too is a brand from Latafa, but it's like a mid brand. Why am I talking? Let's talk about this. So this is a Rugba. I like to tell stories. So this is a very sweet vanilla fragrance, caramelized sugar, sweet vanilla. And what it has in notes is agar wood, which is oud, musk, vanilla, sugar, sandalwood, and incense. So this one is a very sweet, smoky, incensey fragrance. The oud here is not very, I'm sorry, Brownie is backing. Just bear with me. My dog is backing. Just ignore him. I'm sure that on the days when he hears me talking to myself, he wonders and thinks probably there's a ghost in the house or something. Why am I talking to myself? So that's why he's backing. So for this one, like I said, vanilla, oud, sugar, that's what is in this. It's very sweet. The only downside that I have with this is that it doesn't last on my skin. It doesn't last. It gives me maximum 3 hours. 2 hours point, it has become a skin scent already. So it doesn't really last on my skin. And so that's why I'm not going to say that it's doing very well. It was also a blind buy, so I didn't smell it anywhere. It was Sarah Mayer on YouTube. She's a fragrance reviewer too. She put me on it, so I decided to get it, and it's not bad. It's not very expensive. I think it retails here in Nigeria for about 7,000 to 8,000 naira. That's about $20 to $21. So it's not, you're not really breaking the bank with it. So I can afford to reapply it several times. So all too soon, I've come to the end of my video. So these are the fragrances that I bought blind. Out of all of them, I think that it's just the Lalique Amethyst that I'm not really vibing or enjoying. So comment down below. Tell me fragrances that you've bought blind. Tell me how it went. I think that this one, it was a hit more than a miss. It's only one that I didn't really enjoy. So I think that 90 over 100 is a good score. It's an A plus. So I did good on this one. Yep. Let me pop myself. I did really good on this one. Also, don't forget to like the video, and if you have not already subscribed, click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and you're always going to be notified when I upload a new video. Once again, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next video.